Okay, Stranger Things fam, stop everything. Season 5 Volume 1 just dropped and Netflix did not come to play. Will has powers. Will is destroying Demogorgons. Will is officially him. But this raises massive questions. How did he get these powers? Why did Vecna only talk to him? And what does Vecna want from the kids now? And Max? Why is Max trapped in that nightmare dimension? Why is Vecna avoiding that quarry like it's his biggest weakness? Oh, and then Kali shows up. Yes, Kali is back, and the way she's about to shift this entire war? Insane. We're breaking down the ending, the hidden clues, the secret setup for the final battle, everything. I'm your host Jake, you're watching Explainverse, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. The first word I have for Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 1 is devastating, but in the absolute best way possible, because it shattered every single expectation I had. And you guys know me, I'm the dude who already knew half the spoilers. I knew things about the finale, about major twists, about what was supposed to go down in this volume. But still, this hit me so hard I can't even explain it. Yeah, we predicted a few story directions, but the execution, the emotion, the scale, this wasn't just a Volume 1, it felt like a finale. Episode 4 especially. That did not feel like mid-season TV. That felt like the last episode of an entire season. And honestly, I think that's exactly what the Duffer Brothers wanted. Stranger Things 5 is structured, so each volume works like its own mini-season, with its own build-up, stakes, and climax, and trust me, you feel that. Watching Volume 1 gave me complete satisfaction. I'm hyped, I'm shocked, I'm blown away. It's only 4 episodes. Sure, we all want more. But the level of impact, the quality, the emotional punch, absolutely insane. There are some little things we can talk about, some notes, but the main goal here is to explain everything because the doors they opened are absolutely wild. I think there are 3 huge points in particular. 1. Will having powers. 2. Kali showing up and 11 finding her. 3. Max and her connection with Holly inside Vecna's mind. But to get there, we gotta go chronologically. We start the season with what we saw in the first minutes. The reveal that Vecna has possessed Will since the very beginning. It was Vecna who ordered Will's abduction in Season 1. But the cool part is, even after 3.5 years without new Stranger Things, we don't get a cute, slow, introductory first episode. After that flashback, we immediately jump into mission after mission, from the simplest ones to the most complex ones. Another word that perfectly sums up this volume and its 4 episodes is missions. Every episode is packed with missions for the characters. Right away, we're introduced to the main mission of our core group: find Vecna and destroy Vecna. One of the big central themes of this beginning is the character's anguish from being stuck in the same situation for so long. 11 having to hide, living like an armadillo, only coming out when it's safe. That's exactly 11's life right now, curled up like a little ball. Meanwhile, the group has an underground bunker at WSQK radio station, and they run missions using the military portals to try to find any trace of Vecna, because the only way they can access the Upside Down is through those portals. We learn that in the military base downtown, there's a portal they sometimes burn open so trucks can pass through and deliver supplies to their Upside Down base they've been maintaining and guarding. The big source of the characters' frustration is that they never make any real progress. There's 0 word about Vecna, nothing. And if there's one thing we can't deny, it's that Vecna is watching everything. Remember that first poster from July with his giant eye looking down? Remember Season 2 when we now know Vecna was behind everything? The Mind Flayer gathering intel on the group through Will, and then sending the Demo Dog horde? They had to protect their information because it could leak. Back to Stranger Things. Volume 1, the characters are super frustrated because nothing's moving forward. They have to do something. That's when a new mission changes everything. They've been mapping areas of the Upside Down, exploring zones with Hopper infiltrated in the military convoy. What flips the script is a Demogorgon attacking the convoy, and Will having a vision of the Demogorgon attacking. If you didn't catch it, all their previous missions never had problems. No Demogorgon attacks in the middle of a convoy that leaves Hopper trapped in the Upside Down. This mission has exactly that, plus Will discovering he can see through the Demogorgons, starting to understand his role as the group's informant, exactly what we theorized months ago from the teasers. On the other side, we have another huge focus. Holly, Mike's little sister, who's grown up after the time jump and now has a new imaginary friend called Mr. Watset who helps and protects her from monsters, or so she thinks. We already knew about Watset. It's Vecna getting close to the kids, using their mental and physical vulnerability to build his new world. This is a key explanation for the entire volume. Vecna's plan is to shape the world exactly how he wants it, create his perfect little world where people follow and serve him. He literally explains in episode 4 that he wants the kids because of how innocent and easy they are to manipulate. That's what he starts doing with Holly, then with Derek, but the group manages to stop it and save the kids, making them turn against him and see the truth. But before we jump too far ahead, because of this exact goal, in episode 1 going into episode 2, we see a Demogorgon go to the Wheeler house to attack Holly, but really to kidnap her. Same principle as the very first episode of the series, the Demogorgon didn't go to kill Will, it went as Vecna's soldier to abduct him so Vecna could use him as a weapon. Same thing here with Holly, just with a different method. This leaves Karen and Ted in the hospital, a point for the Volume 1 ending. Karen had surgery and is okay for now. Ted is in an induced coma, no updates. I think this hospital situation will drag into the season and they'll eventually get the news that one or both parents died. From Holly being taken to the Upside Down, 11 going after her, and Hopper already trapped there, episode 2's mission becomes clear: save Holly, and the rest of the group figuring out what happened to 11 and Hopper. While the military is also hunting 11, she's actually getting closer to them, approaching their nest. It's amazing how all the separate storylines start connecting. They're connecting more and more, and even bigger connections are coming in future volumes. Another important thing in episode 2, Lucas visiting Max, always playing Running Up That Hill, talking to her, begging her to come back, and we see her heart rate jump and her eyes move under the lids. All of that is set up for the big reveal later when we see Max with Holly in that place Vecna took her. Episode 2 has a lot of relationship building, but I'm not going to focus on the ships right now. The point of this video is to explain the Volume 1 finale where everything clicks. Quick note, Dr. K, Linda Hamilton, the new military leader, I gotta be honest, I expected a little more from the character. The acting is great. She's intimidating, but not as intimidating as I thought she'd be. And her knowledge of the situation feels childish. She barely knows anything about Vecna. Her whole goal is capturing 11, and she thinks 11 is the one taking the kids. Same blindness Sullivan always had. Curious to see how her attitude changes in Volume 2 after everything she just learned, probably for the worse. Now, the Upside Down Wall, the boundary. 11 and Hopper find Holly's boot, proof Vecna took her that way. So there is a way to follow Holly, there is an exit, they just don't know how to cross that wall yet. About Holly and where she ended up, the episode ties everything together. They realize Watset is Vecna. We get Nice Vecna, this new version that treats the kids super well, especially taking Holly to the Creel house, but a beautiful version, a mindscape. For anyone confused where Holly actually is, that place exists inside Vecna's mind. It's a location Vecna fully controls, a prison he created. Max later reveals it's a trap, and that's why we see Max there with a different look in episodes 3 and 4. That version of Max is Max trapped inside Vecna's mind. Her real body is in a coma in the hospital with no responses because her consciousness is locked inside Vecna. Holly is now in the exact same situation. Her body is in the Upside Down with vines in her mouth like the other kids, and her mind is trapped inside Vecna's mindscape. Important detail, them meeting each other is something Vecna absolutely did not want and is outside his plan. Remember in episode 3 when he says he's stepping out for a bit and tells Holly not to go into the forest where the monsters are? That's because he knows Max is there in a place he can't access, and he doesn't want Holly finding her, learning the truth, and ruining everything. But Max makes sure Holly finds her anyway. You can already see Max actively messing with Vecna's plans from inside his own mind. That's why Vecna is going to attack a certain hospital we saw in the trailers, but not yet in Volume 1. You can already see how massive Max's role is going to be this season, even though a lot of people thought she'd just stay in a coma bed the whole time. Nope. And her super important role is literally sabotaging Vecna from the inside, even having direct access to the exact place where the kids are being sent. While in the real world, 11 and the group are trying to solve the Vecna problem, Max is infiltrated inside Vecna's mind, messing up every part of his plan, and she even knows there's a way out of there. We get the reveal straight from Max to Holly. After everything that happened in Season 4, Max actually died for a while, everything went black, but then she came back in this mysterious place. She started having visions, good memories, bad memories, all kinds of moments, but she was being guided by the music. Running Up That Hill, the song she loves that has been pulling her away from Vecna since Season 4, and it was guiding her here too. This makes us understand that Lucas visiting her in the hospital the whole time and constantly playing Running Up That Hill, especially on that last visit, almost opened the portal for her to escape Vecna's mind. She was running straight toward the portal, but right at that moment the portal closed and Vecna found her. Why did it close? Same exact reason we saw in Season 4, the music stopped. That made Max get lost inside Vecna's mind and end up hiding in that specific spot. But here's the thing, there's a part of Vecna's mind that even Vecna himself can't access. Max explains that while he was chasing her, she hid inside a cave in a quarry, and Vecna just stands there looking frustrated. He literally can't go in. Why can't he? Most likely it's a weakened, vulnerable part of Henry, Vecna's mind, a weak spot that's going to be revealed in Volume 2 and Volume 3, something the group can definitely use to beat him. Probably a bad memory, some insane trauma, because he has traumas too. Him staring at Max from afar and not entering that part of his own mind means it's locked away, something he doesn't want to touch because it probably weakens him. That's the direction I think it's going. So now Max has new hope of escaping and causing even more chaos, especially with Holly showing up. She's trapped with her now. But the cool part is that Vecna still doesn't know Holly made contact with Max, so Max can set up a real trap, using Holly as the insider. That's why she tells Holly to go back to the house, act calm, pretend everything's fine even if she's scared. Just follow the plan. The plan starts in Volume 2. And right there they mention the place is called Camazotz. A lot of people thought it was a creature. We kept saying no, it's a place. There you go, guys. I'll talk way more about that in the details video. Back to Episode 3 real quick. The Turnbow Trap is awesome, super creepy Demogorgon scenes. The way they fight with total bravery, Mike just beating the hell out of it, then it catching fire, everything was incredible and so satisfying. You can really see the characters have grown up. Even at school they face the bullies head on. Real maturity and evolution. All of that ends up pulling the four of them into the Upside Down 2, where they set a new target. Dustin figures out that the Upside Down wall is actually circular, and the center of the circle is the Hawkins lab. So the Four's mission heading into Volume 2 is to get to the lab, the place where the Upside Down was created. That's what leads into those trailer scenes of them heading to the lab. We thought it would be in Volume 1, but nope. In Episode 4, one big thing, the military taking the kids to the base. You're probably wondering why. It's implied, not fully spelled out, but they're doing it because of the constant kid attacks. Word spreads among the characters, our main group knows their targets, but the military knows it too. We saw soldiers at the Wheeler house realizing Holly was taken, plus a bunch of off-screen kidnappings because later we see other kids Vecna already grabbed. Through Dr. K's scenes, we find out there's a hidden reason they want to use the kids as bait to draw out 11, because she still thinks 11 is behind everything. The military is still ridiculously dumb, convinced 11 is the evil one. I really thought by this point Dr. K would be obsessed with capturing 11 to harvest her powers, or replicate them or something, but no, she just thinks 11 is the villain. Maybe that twist comes later. The absolute best plot stuff comes from the action scenes, Hopper and 11 going full ruthless. Everything builds to the massive reveal that gave me full-body chills. Kali, 008 from Season 2, 11's sister. Dr. K has been keeping her locked up as a test subject, and 11 finding her there means 11 now has another powered person fighting by her side against Vecna. We had theories and possible leaks last year that Kali was coming back, but no leaked scenes. Looks like those leaks were right. I just never imagined it would hit this hard. I was shaking watching that scene. This already sets up ideas for the final battle. She can definitely help, and I'll talk about a ton more theories in the details video. I have to mention the insane one-shot sequence. Yes, a real single-take scene with no cuts. You can totally tell. They promised it, and it delivers. Crazy choreography, huge moments, the main actors moving perfectly. Maybe the Demogorgon CGI is a tiny bit off, but I'm not gonna knock it. The choreography and how everything fits together is incredible. All of that leads to Vecna's monumental entrance. the way he uses his powers, the way he wipes out the soldiers. There's one soldier death where Vecna literally punches through the guy's head. Man, if I showed it here, the video would get demonetized, but they went hard. They were not afraid. Then we get the moment Vecna grabs Will and says all those things about how Will helped him, how Will evolved him, revealing his full plan, way beyond what we saw in the trailers. A lot of people are asking why Vecna kills everyone, has a little chat with Will, and then just leaves. The big reason seems to be that he already has full control over Will. He doesn't need to stick around. Will is directly linked to him, part of the hive mind. Every episode of this volume shows how deep that connection is, Will writhing in pain every time a creature gets hurt or burned. It's brutal. The ultimate proof is this scene that completely broke me. Even knowing tons of spoilers, I wasn't ready for this level. Will with powers, the exact same powers as Vecna. Did you notice? The way he grabs and snaps the Demogorgons in half is the exact same way Vecna kills his victims. Ever since Vecna was introduced in Season 4, Will has the same power now. It's like Will is Vecna. The hive mind reached that level. So what does that mean for Vecna? Why the visit and then he just dips? Even though Will using the powers was surprising and saved everyone, it's a double-edged sword. It creates a huge problem. Killing Vecna might kill Will, or to kill Vecna they might have to kill Will. That's definitely going to explode the fandom with theories. But that seems to be the direction. Vecna's little visit, him leaving, then Will using the exact same powers, blood running from his nose just like 11, everything is chilling. The way the scene is directed and built is perfect in my opinion, way above what I expected, making this whole Volume 1 feel like a complete season. In the end, this is the setup for the disaster that could be coming. That's the vibe Volume 1 leaves us with. Remember the 3 main points I said I had to explain at the beginning? Max connected to Holly inside Vecna's mind, Kali teaming up with 11, and Will's connection to Vecna. There you go. Those are the big explanations for the end of Volume 1, and for me it was spectacular. A couple tiny CGI notes and stuff, but for the level of boldness in these scenes, the production is exactly what they promised, or better. That's why I'm putting Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 1 at amazing and mind-blowing level. Maybe it wasn't surprising for you. Everyone's experience is different, but for me, as a fan talking about my own reaction, even knowing a ton of spoilers, it shocked me. That's awesome. I'm so happy this happened right at the start of the final season. It means the last 2 volumes coming up are going to deliver big time. And that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to drop a like, share it with your friends and fellow Stranger Things fans, and hit that subscribe button, plus ring the bell so you never miss an update from Explainverse. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are the best, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay strange, and peace out.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I breathe.